Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, And welcome to JMS Broadcasting, JaySkinz Media Solutions Broadcast. I appreciate each and every one of you being here tonight. My name is Stolfus, and we are under caution on the Speedway as qualifying is about to get underway for the URL Super Sprint Series presented by White Knuckle Clothing. If you guys don't know who White Knuckle Clothing is, they are not just another t-shirt, hoodie, or hat company. They are a clothing company for motorheads and motorsports fans. Check them out on the web at www.whiteknuckleclothinginc.com. So here we go, guys. We got some cars on pit road getting ready to roll out for qualifying. Race Control giving them a little bit of a rundown of what to expect of tonight's events. Tonight we do have a double header. We're going to run two features tonight. The second feature will be an invert of the first, finishing order of the first, I should say. And it's going to be a good time. So everyone strap in, grab a drink, hold on tight, because we got two features coming your way tonight. So yeah, that's what it is. One thing I want to mention is Devil's Bowl Speedway has given a chance for URL banquet attendees to win 2 tickets to any race hosted by the West Haven, Vermont track. So what that means is when the URL has its championship banquet, Devil's Bowl Speedway in West Haven, Vermont is going to be giving away 2 tickets to an attendee of the banquet. They can go to any of the races they want that are there at the track. So that's pretty cool that that track is getting involved in that way. So once again, we're just kind of waiting here for qualifying to get underway. So while we wait, really don't have any more house cleaning duties to go over. Hopefully we'll get some cars on track here pretty soon. Getting to look at some Williams Grove Speedway here. Good shot of the backstretch. You can see the track's worn in a little bit. Got a little bit of a dry spot there forming up on the bottom. A little bit of a slick spot there as we look at turn 1 and the front stretch. So again, Race Control just filling in the drivers on expectations for tonight's events. So while we wait for cars to get on track, I'm going to step away for just a moment. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. The cars are just now starting to roll out. First car out on the track is the 21 machine of Matthew Hood. Oh no, he told me how to say it and I forgot. Matthew Heft? I think it's Heft. Matthew Heft out on track in the 21, taking the green flag here. Wayne McDuff right behind him. Wayne McDuff, part of the URL Home Track Series, finished 4th place in that at Lanier in the UMP Modified that ran right before this. And Brett Bartles, those are our 3 cars on track right now. Qualifying times on the left there. And it looks like Wayne McDuff was the one that got into the wall there. And that's going to do it for this first round. So fastest car on the track was Matt Huft with an 18.396. McDuff got an 18.673 and Bartles with an 18.689. Kelly Dahl out on the track now, along with Jim Vig. Vig coming in hot in the 17 machine there. And also Devin Johnson. Devin Johnson in the 18 machine. Turning a 31.6. That was not an official time. He was still rolling out from the pit road there. Kelly Dahl coming around to turn his first lap time. It's going to be good enough for an 18.707. So 5th place for him. Jim Vig laying down a great lap, currently in 2nd place with 18.601. And they're shutting it down now. Next car is rolling out. Looks like Alex Oran's gonna be coming out on the track along with the 02. A little confusion there. Thought they were gonna get together for a second. Terry Reiner in the 02 Dirt Co Media House. Charles Hayes rolling out in the 15. And Alex, don't call me Oreo Orans in the 9 Loco Toco Designs. Charles Hayes coming around here. Hayes is going to be one to watch, and he's good enough for 2nd with an 18.409, but Reiner comes in right there with an 18.339. So Terry Reiner goes to the top of the charts in this qualifying session. Getting it complete one more lap. Can anyone top Reiner? And doesn't look that way, so Terry's gonna be our new quick time with an 18.339. Heft with an 18.396. Hayes with an 18.409. Dahl with an 18.457. And rounding out your top 5 is Jim Vig with an 18.487. Tyson Landis getting on the loud pedal out here now. Got a handful more of cars to get through here. But the session is going to wind down, so not sure how this is going to work out. And the timer just is going to reset itself. It's perfect. I like it. So Tyson Landis out on the track, along with Brett Strickler. Brett, a fellow commentator here in the booth with me on JMS Broadcasting, trying his hand at whipping this thing around this long Williams Grove Speedway. And Logan Christensen out here as well in the 27 machine. Logan shutting it down here a little early. Unable to get a scored lap in. And Brett Strickler on top of the charts now with an 18.334. So just edging out Terry Reinhardt by .005. That's stinking close, I'll tell you right there. That's what that is. So now we got the next group of cars coming out on the track. George Wood and James McIntyre and Brad Spidell. All three of these drivers out on track, up to speed now. Brad Spidell running the Pass Blue Ribbon car. Part of the Pennsylvania Posse crew that's out here tonight, joining George Wood and others. Scott Bellum included in that group. Brad Spidell's gonna go fastest in this session, or this group of cars, turning at 18.431. James McIntyre holding on to 9th place now. And George Wood in 13th spot. These guys shutting it down here. So Brad Spidell was the fastest in that session, giving him 6th place. So Scott Bellum lining up to get his qualifying lap in. Michael Mirdo as well. And possibly Logan Christensen getting another shot at it. So those three cars rolling out on the track now. The 66 machine of Michael Mirdo, first car out. He's going to take the green here. Now, Williams Grove is a very tricky track in that it's hard to get a good run through the corners. You carry so much speed down the straightaway, but then when you get to the corner, you gotta essentially do a 180-degree turn and not lose you have to lose as little speed as possible in doing it. Logan Christensen here in 17th. And Scott Bellum going to the top of the charts with an 18.316. Doing a great job turning a heck of a lap time. 18.316, good enough for pole now. That's going to move Brett and Terry. Tyson Landis in 4th and Matthew Heft in 5th. So there you go, folks. That is our qualifying session. So once again, Scott Bellum will be your quick time with an 18.316. Brett Strickler with an 18.334. Terry Reiner in 3rd with an 18.339. Tyson Landis, 18.392 is 4th. Matthew Heft with an 18.396 will round out your top 5. In 6th place is Charles Hayes. 7th is Brad Spidell. 8th, Logan Christensen with an 18.446. 9th is Kelly Dahl. Rounding out top 10 is Jim Vigg with an 18.487. James McIntyre is going to be 11th with an 18.634. Wayne McDuff, 12th with an 18.673. Brett Bartles, 13th with an 18.689. Devin Johnson, 14th, 18.733. George Wood in 15th with an 18.741. And Michael Mirdo with 16th place will be an 18.801. And Alex Moran having a very difficult time qualifying. 17th place, final car to take a time with an 18.857. Now you see Al Smith there. He is league admin at the bottom of our charts. He will be the pace truck. He is actually in this session in a NASCAR truck. So he, like I said, he's in the truck out here. Brave, brave man. So, while these guys get instructions and directions, we're going to step away for just a moment and we'll be right back. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Heat race number 1, getting ready to get underway. Scott Bellum leading them, Terry Reiner, Charles Hayes, Logan Christensen, Jim Vigg, Wayne McDuff, Devin Johnson, and Michael Mirdo all out there tonight for heat race number 1. Here we go, green flag underway. And Scott Bellum getting a great start here. Or I should say not a great start. Lost some ground there. The 27 machine of Logan Christensen, though, out front. Logan's leading this charge here. But holding on to second place is Terry Reiner, followed by the 02 machine. Or, sorry, Terry Reiner in the 02, Charles Hayes in the 15. I'll get it right. Ooh, Terry Reiner, little bit of contact. Had to check it. Now big contact into the wall. Keeps it off the wall. Wayne McDuff now looking his insight. So the 02 of Terry Reiner, big time trouble. Lost a lot of ground. Jim Vigg putting some pressure on the 7 machine of Scott Bellum. Bellum was our quick time qualifier. Having to work through the field here. Wayne McDuff and the 18 of Devin Johnson here going at it at the back of this field. Every position counts. Devin Johnson wants to get around Wayne McDuff, and Wayne wants to hold him off. So all these cars now going single file, but Scott Bellum still under heavy pressure by Jim Vigg. This is undecided right now. And it looks like Terry Reiner in the 02 wants to join in on this fight. As we go on board here with Terry Reiner, you can see he's working his way underneath now, trying to get a run, doing a slide job on him. getting Jim Vig cleared. Now he's got Scott Bellum in his sights. He's got to catch up to Scott here. Gonna run this high line. Great shot of just underneath the nose. That's the front bumper and the left bar that we're looking at. So, that's going to put Bellum, Reinert, and Vig third, fourth, and fifth. Charles Hayes holding on to second. And Logan Christensen, who had an excellent start, has had an excellent heat race, is opening up a gap on the rest of the field here. And Vig's in trouble. Something has happened to Vig. Vig, I don't think, was able to finish the race, as Logan Christensen got through. Not sure what happened to Vig. Got a little lost there. I apologize, but that's kind of what happens in these manual races. So Logan Christensen going to be your heat race number 1 winner. Heat race number 2 going to get ready to fire off here. So as we get the lineup from race control for heat race number 2, we're going to take just a moment to again mention that these guys here at the Upstate Racing League put on a heck of a show. They got we do the 360 sprint cars here that's being broadcasted, but before that they do the UMP modifieds at what they call the home track series. So every Sunday they will be at one track throughout the season. And you might think, well, that's a little boring. Well, that's why it's called the home track series. It's to be a kind of a remembrance of when we just always went to the same local track week in and week out, and you got really good at that one local track. So there's some stiff competition in that UMP modified race, as I was able to join them. Had a heck of a time racing against them, and look forward to hopefully doing it next week. But we'll see. Not really sure what's going to happen next week, as the cars are starting to line up here. Brett Strickler in the 5, the 99 machine out there of Kelly Dahl. Brad Speidel in the 555, the 21 of Matthew Heft, and the 9 of Alex Arans. Also taking to the vehicle. He's strapped in, ready to go. The 81 machine of James McIntyre in our picture as well. Brett Bartles rolling around to form up. Heat race number 2 about ready to get underway. And there they go, rolling off the 31 machine of Tyson Landis joining heat race number 2 here as well. Like I said, Brett Strickler, so doing a little bit of an invert here. So Kelly Dahl's going to be on our front row with the 31 machine of Tyson Landis. Brad Speidel and Matt Heft. Row 2, row 3 is the 5 of Brett Strickler. Green flag underway. Kelly Dahl doing a great job of getting a good start there. Everyone washing up there. And Kelly Dahl's going to come out of the turn 2 down the backstretch, holding on to the lead, but Tyson Landis putting on some pressure. Both cars jumping over that cushion there. Now Tyson thinking about trying the outside lane, getting a tire there, but now he's washed up. That's going to let Kelly Dahl get a good run down the backstretch here. But Tyson able to carry the speed. And now Tyson has a chance to clear him out of turn 4, and looks like he does. So put Tyson Landis into first spot for this heat race number 2. Brad Speidel holding on to 4th place. Matt Heft sitting in 5th. But the man on the move is Brett Strickler. And he's going to look to the outside of Kelly Dahl here. Has to check up just a little bit. Didn't have the room or the run that he thought he might. Checked up for just a hair. We go on board with Brett Strickler here. Long straightaways here at Williams Grove, and then a sharp turn to deal with. Got to maintain as much speed as you can. You get so much speed down these straightaways, and then you just have to throw it into the corner. Completely mental. Strickler looking to the inside here. Unable to do anything with it. Kelly Dahl holding on to 2nd for this time. Brad Speidel sitting in 4th still. Alex doing a great job working through the field. Looks like he's currently in 5th spot. Brett Bartles right behind him in 6th. 7th is Matt Heft. Matt losing a lot of bit of ground, I should say. And then George Wood bringing up the final spot in this heat race number 2. But up front, Brad Speidel managing to get around Brett Strickler and Kelly Dahl. Speidel with a great run there. So Kelly Dahl's going to lose 2 spots now. Brett Strickler still in 3rd. But he's got a new car that's looking at the front of, that he's looking out the front of his car. Now these two need to reel in our leader, Tyson Landis. Tyson way out front. As we go out the back of Tyson's car, you see the rest of the field there. Tyson has a great lead on these guys. So way out front is Tyson Landis. Brad Speidel, Brett Strickler. 2nd and 3rd, Kelly Dahl holding on to 4th. 5th place, Alex, don't call me Oreo Arenz. He's doing a great job. Had a dismal qualifying session, but is making up for it here in his heat race. So Tyson Landis way out front, shutting it down because the checkered flags have flown for heat race number 2. So Tyson Landis, our heat race winner. Had a great start. Great looking car. Car looked very fast out there, a whole race from start to finish. Brad Speidel doing a great job working his way through the field as well. So I'll tell you, some great racing here to come. And the feature is going to be firing up in just a moment. And we're going to step away for a second. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll tell you what's about to happen right now is cars are starting to form up. Whew, and I'm a little bit out of breath for some reason. My heart just started racing. I got so exciting. Whew, gonna take a minute to catch my breath here as it looks like we're gonna have a trophy dash coming out here. Alright, so these guys formed up, ready to go for our trophy dash. Logan Christensen, Tyson Landis leading it. Brett Strickler and Brad Speidel. Or sorry, the 15 machine. Oh man, those cars look identical. The 15, Charles Hayes. Brett Strickler in the wall. Strickler getting a terrible start. Able to keep going. Strickler in the 5 machine. And the 7 of Scott Bellum. Strickler recovered nicely though. Made a move on Bellum, but Bellum looking back to the inside here. Neither one of these guys want to finish last. We're going to go on board with Brad Speidel. Man, I just love the way a sprint car sounds. Just sounds like raw power to me. Great shot. Really digging this shot of underneath the car right along the frame rail here. And you can see just what it's like to go through a Williams Grove corner. But Tyson Landis out front with Logan Christensen in front of him. These two have been nose to tail this whole race for this trophy dash. Laps are winding down here for it. Tyson Landis has got to figure out a move to make here. Logan Christensen doing a great job. Led every lap in his heat race, now leading here. Check in real quick on some of our other drivers. Charles Hayes. He's sitting in a little bit behind everybody here. Losing a little bit of ground. Scott Bellum in front of him. And then Brett Strickler. So those two settled their dispute. Consider Brett Strickler the winner of that battle. Brad Speidel in third. As the field shuts it down, your winner's going to be Logan Christensen. Tyson Landis second. Brad Speidel third. Fourth, Scott Bellum. And that is our trophy dash. So some great racing there by some of the fast cars for tonight. Scott Bellum, Brett Strickler went after each other. Tyson Landis tried to reel in Logan Christensen, just unable to do it. And I'll tell you that this feature, we're going to have a double feature tonight. So it's going to be exciting to watch two feature events with a invert of the second feature. The field will be inverted from how they finish in the first. So some of these guys that are going to be fast are also probably going to be fast in the second one, but they're going to have to start a little bit further in the back of the pack. So as race control goes about getting everyone lined up, we're going to step away for just a second. We'll be right back.
The car behind me is my Chili Bowl midget, the one that I won the Chili Bowl with. And what's interesting about that is it's actually the car that iRacing scanned that's going to be available to all the iRacing members out there.
Just like a movie, just like a storybook, we are the future, we're the ones they won't overlook. It's time to be the hero. Rising like you've never seen, like you've never seen. Looking for a hero. Just like in a dream, just like in a dream.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining me here on JMS Broadcasting. My name is KR Stolfus, and I'll tell you what, we are bringing you the Upstate Racing League Super Sprint Series presented by White Knuckle Clothing. The White Knuckle Clothing isn't just another t-shirt, hoodie, or hat company. They are a clothing company for motorheads and motorsports fans. Check them out on the web at www.whiteknuckleclothinginc.com. We're getting a shot of Al Smith as he is going to go around with the Pace truck here in iRacing. This is going to be an iRacing controlled race. But Al is out here in the truck. And what he's going to do is he's going to count as a car that is taken to the grid. So everyone else is going to stay in the pits for now. Nobody's going to grid. Pace truck is going to start rolling away. When that happens, Al will be the one that will count for the laps. And then the field is going to form up in pit lane. Go down the backstretch and fire off. So we're going to see how this works. It's going to be an interesting take on how to get around doing a manual setup kind of stuff. It's not one that I've seen used a whole lot, but it ought to be very interesting, and hopefully it will work out well. So we're about to find out how it's going to work. Guys, nobody go anywhere after this race. Remember, we have a doubleheader. We got 2 features to get through tonight. And there goes Al. Man, these trucks on dirt are a lot of fun. They don't go too fast, but they are fun to wheel around on the dirt. Al running a Locks of Love paint scheme there. Al Smith is a member of the Racing for a Cause League. And if you haven't checked them out, that is something that JMS has broadcasted. Great little league. If you'd like to be a part of a race that means something, check out Racing for a Cause. They'd love to have you. They do a lot of different stuff. So good group of guys. It's been an honor and a pleasure to broadcast them, and I got to do their super late model championship season finale, whatever you want to call it, just earlier this week. I guess it would be last week, because now we're into Sunday. So Al Smith going to be the one that takes the green flag, and then the rest of the field going to line up behind him. And Al puts it in the wall. And that's going to do it for Al. So we got a moment to talk to Al about it. So everyone on pit road now. The field's going to form up from here. Quite the interesting little situation. Gonna see how this is gonna work out. Field is supposed to form up at the end of pit road. And you can see them start to form up there. Everyone's going to get in the correct order. And then roll out and take the green flag. So Logan Christensen, who qualified not too well but took full advantage of an invert, did great in his heat. Won the trophy dash. He's going to be on the pole. Tyson Landis on his outside. Brad Spidell in the 5 of Brett Strickler. Charles Hayes, Scott Bellum, Kelly Dahl, Terry Reinert, Alex Arans, Wayne McDuff, Matt Heft, Brett Bartles, Jim Vig, Devin Johnson, Michael Murdo, George Wood, and James McIntyre are going to make up the field. So here we go, should be getting the green flag. This time, Logan Christensen's gonna have control of it. And here we go, folks. Logan gets on it, and he's going to get a good start over Tyson. Green flag in the air. We are underway. Logan jumps straight to the high side. Brad Spidel looking to the inside. They're fighting for 4th spot, trying to get underneath Brett Strickler in the 5. A lot of cars out here in this field. Ooh, Logan lost a lot of ground there. Tyson Landis, Brett Strickler, Brad Spidel all getting around him. Logan just dropping like a rock through the field here. So Tyson Landis, now your race leader. But oh my goodness, Brett Strickler gonna pull a move coming out of turn 4. Put Strickler up into the front. And the caution is out. Looks like something has happened to Jim Vig. Unable to see exactly what happened. Field just got bunched up. Looked like Brett Bartles was involved. One of those cars blinking horribly bad. Not sure it was. Maybe James McIntyre. So Brett Bartles, Jim Vig, James McIntyre all involved in that yellow. So Brett Strickler with some great moves here early on, taking the lead here. Tyson Landis second. Logan Christensen got into a bit of trouble, lost a lot of ground. Brad Spidell 4th, Logan Christensen in 5th. Scott Bellum 6th place, Terry Reinert 7th. Dahl is in 8th. Alex Arans 9th, and Matt Heft will round out your top 10 here. So Wayne McDuff on pit road, and James McIntyre decides to pack it up and go home. Brett Bartles and Jim Vig are still out there, so possibly 4-car wreck there. Was unable to see everybody that was involved. So lights are out on the pace truck. Brett Strickler going to have control of the field here. Pace truck pulling off. Here we go. Green flag in the air. Strickler getting a great jump. Tyson Landis losing a little bit. And Brad Spidell in trouble. Brad Spidell having a difficult time getting through turn 1. Managed to save it. Kept it off the wall. And here we go. Down the front stretch. Kelly Dahl in a 3-way battle here with Matt Heft and Alex Arans. Everyone now a little bit single file. This race is going to go quick if everyone stays single file. Scott Bellum trying a new line. He's running a little bit low there, looking for any kind of advantage he can find. Running that bottom now. So they're second through fourth. Getting a little mixed up here. Tyson Landis losing some more ground. Tyson lost the spot to Charles Hayes. Put Tyson in third. Now Logan Christensen charging back. Might have something on that out. Tags the wall. Tyson Landis able to get back around, but Logan had a good run going, but scrubbed it because he got into the wall, and the caution is out once again as Alex Oranz is the one in trouble here. Alex and Kelly and Matt Heff all fighting it out right here. Alex getting into Kelly Dahl there a little bit. Spun it around, tried to get back going. So Alex doesn't lose a lap, but has lost a lot of ground. Wayne McDuff still in the pits, still in his car. James McIntyre has gone home. So we got 15 cars out on the track, 15 cars on the lead lap. Alex with a little bit of front bumper damage. That was just some good hard racing here at Williams Grove. Coming off these corners, a lot of times you still have a lot of wheel in the turn to the left of these things. But the lights are out on the pace truck. We are almost halfway through this 30-lap event. Oh, lights are on the pace truck. I thought they were still out. So coming around here, lap 15 of 30 laps. Now the lights have gone out on the pace truck. So Brett Strickler out front, doing a great job here tonight in the Upstate Racing League Super Sprint Series presented by White Knuckle Clothing. I'll tell you, those Apple Chevrolet sprint cars out front running 1 and 2, those guys, they are working together. Charles Hayes, Brett Strickler, those two are some fast drivers. Here we go. Green flag in the air. Brett Strickler getting a good jump over teammate Charles Hayes. Strickler very straight, very solid coming out of the corner. That's what you want out of a setup here at Williams Grove. Ooh, big knot of cars here. Scott Bellum, Logan Christensen, Tyson Landis, all fighting for position. Now Brad Speidel wants a little piece of the action. Speidel doing a great job running that bottom. Ooh, my. Terry Reiner's going to join in here. Ooh, contact's made. Logan Christensen all out of shape. Going to lose a couple of spots. Going to have Terry Reiner check up as well. That's going to put Scott Bellum in third place, part of this Pennsylvania posse game. And Bellum has disappeared. Bellum has just disappeared off the track. Don't know if he's had a connection issue or if he's going to reappear here at any moment, but that's got to be disappointing for him. He just got into third spot. We were just watching him. Then he disappears. So put Brad Speidel up in the third spot, having a great race. Had a difficult time there. We saw him get out of shape on one of the restarts, but has recovered nicely, and now he's starting to run down second place. Oh, Terry Reiner in trouble. Big time trouble as we go under caution here. Terry Reiner getting a little bit sideways. Not quite sure what all happened here, so we're going to find out. Reiner goes into the corner. Tyson Landis drifts up. Reinhardt gets tagged by Matt Heft, the 18 machine to Devin Johnson. And Reinhardt, with some heavy damage to that machine, he's going to take a tow and put it into the hauler. Devin Johnson going to keep on going. So, a couple cars taken out here. Scott Bellum got some damage on his car. Don't know what happened to him. He disappeared from our cameras and then has reappeared in the pits with heavy damage. So not quite sure what happened to him. But Brett Strickler is still our race leader. Charles Hayes holding on to second. Brad Spidell in third. Logan Christensen fourth. Tyson Landis fifth. Kelly Dahl sixth. Matt Heft seventh. Michael Mirdo 8th, Jim Vig 9th, and rounding out your top 10 is Brett Bartles. Running a JaySkinz paint scheme, Brett Bartles. JaySkinz paint scheme there on the side is the same one that owns this YouTube channel. So he does custom paints and has broke out into YouTube land. So if you guys get the chance, if you're watching this, haven't done so yet, give us a thumbs up. Tell us how much you're enjoying it. Interact in chat. It's a good time for me, good time for you. Alright, here we go for another restart. Logan Christensen looking to the inside of Brad Spidel. Brett Strickler doing a great job. Spidel running that bottom line. Just about 5 laps to go in this thing. When they come around this time, it will be. Spidel holding that bottom line. He's making it work well. One of the few drivers that is doing so. Logan Christensen trying it now. He's going to wash up. That's going to let Charles Hayes get back around him. Tyson Landis in the mix here. Ooh, Matt Heft in the wall. He's going to save it and keep going. George Wood, Devin Johnson going at it here at the back of the pack. Ooh, my. Close contact there. Meanwhile, up front, this race has been all about Brett Strickler. He's led the most laps, been the dominant car out here, hasn't set a foot wrong. Doing a great job in this 5 machine. But I'll tell you what, the battle for 3rd, 4th, 2nd, wherever these cars are at, this is an intense battle, and this is not going to be settled until the checkered flag drops as the caution is out. Looks like something has happened to Devin Johnson. Coming out of turn 2, Devin Johnson got crossed up, tags the wall, and then is just unable to get his car going before the leaders come back around. So that is what brought the caution out. So this race very possibly is going to finish under yellow. With 2 to go this time, this is going to be the white flag. Brett Strickler is going to win this thing under yellow. Charles Hayes is going to finish 2nd. Logan Christensen 3rd. Brad Spidel is going to be 4th. And Tyson Landis is going to round out your top 5. So some great racing here at Williams Grove. Gonna finish under yellow. I don't think the outcome for the race winner will would have changed. Brett Strickler had the field covered, and he's going to win it here. Brett Strickler is going to win. Logan Christensen bringing it home third. Charles Hayes second. Brad Spidell fourth. Tyson Landis fifth. Kelly Dahl, Matt Heft, Michael Mirdo, Brett Bartles, Jim Vig. That's going to be your top 10. Alex Arantz, George Wood, Devin Johnson, Terry Reiner, Scott Bellum, Wayne McDuff, James McIntyre, and our league admin, Al Smith. So let's see if we can't get a word in with some of our race winners here. As long as they are listening and have their mics unmuted. Brett Strickler, are you ready for this interview?
I guess I am. Ready as I'll ever be.
Congratulations, Mr. Strickler. You've done a great job. You won the race in spectacular fashion, led the most laps, a dominant car, finishes under yellow, but somehow I feel that does not make a difference in this situation.
Yeah, I felt pretty strong from the get-go. I was having my doubts coming towards the heat race and dash. I didn't feel like I had the drive off the corner that some guys might have, but the coming feature time, I made a little bit of a tweak, and it paid off. I can tell you that. It didn't take too long for this car to come alive.
Man, the car looked good, you looked good, and it just was so straight coming off the corner. It seemed like everyone else had some wiggles coming off, and you were just straight as an arrow. Tell us a little bit about what you were feeling in the car.
It's a little bit different. I don't know how specific iRacing gets, but like being that it's still a day kind of a type setting, tracks kind of, they wear a little differently, and you got to be easier with the throttle and a little more controlling. And I don't know. 3 and 4 got really thin up top, and I just kind of didn't want to move down because I was too good. So, I mean, the car itself handled well. I was pretty surprised at how well it handled.
All right, well, it looks like you're teammates with Charles Hayes. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's one of my buddies.
One of your... you say that with such conviction.
Yeah, well, I can say it the same way about you, KR. You're one of my buddies there, too.
But anyways, you guys had this field dominated, so a good 1-2 team finish. So congratulations on that. Brett, any sponsors, people you'd like to thank for this race win?
Yeah, well, since you mentioned Charles, don't get it mixed up. I'm the brains behind the operation. I put the setup in the car. But no, I do have a friend that might be watching. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Woody Fawn, 478-455. That's a bit of a joke, not that anybody watching might not understand, but also shout out to Charles coming home second, and Rocky, he couldn't make it tonight. He also is same paint scheme, same team as us, but fortunately work took up too much of his time tonight. So shout out to them, and I'm looking forward to going round 2 here. Maybe I can get a sweep if the invert does well.
Yep, well, congratulations on the race win. The feature number 2's coming up right after this with an invert, so man, I wouldn't worry too much about it. As long as you can keep Charles in sight, I think you guys have the setup dialed in for tonight.
Yeah, it's gonna be under the lights, so it might change a little differently, but I'm ready for it. I think I thrive under the lights.
So, all right. Well, we're going to move on, Brett. Thank you for talking to us, and good luck in the second feature tonight.
Thanks, KR. Looking forward to talking to you again.
You got it. All right, so we're moving on to second place finisher, Charles Hayes. Mr. Hayes, give us a little bit of rundown of your race and what it felt like out there and your setup and how it compares to what Brett Strickler had.
Well, we pretty much run the same setups, and it was just hitting your marks every time. It was trying to find the grip through the slick. That was the main part in the beginning, was the guys that were running right through the slick, they just didn't have that drive through the middle of the turn, and that's where I think Brett and I excelled tonight for that race, was we could hit the grip and we hit it correct.
You guys were really fast, kind of the class of the field all night tonight. We saw Brett qualify very well, and then his heat race battled through an invert and made a great showing of it. And your heat race, you went very fast in it. So overall, all night, you guys have had a great setup, great car. and the feature you didn't disappoint. Tell us, what do you think, Charles, here about the format with Al Smith running as a pace truck?
I enjoy it. I think it's a lot easier. It's a lot more simple. There's a lot less time wasted, really. I feel with him doing the pace truck with the Toyota Tundra. I think it works well.
All right, Charles. Well, congratulations on your second place finish. Anybody you'd like to thank here while you got the chance, you got the microphone, and have an opportunity to throw somebody under the bus or give a shout out to?
I got to throw a shout out to Brett. He's the one that really builds all the setups that I run. I have no clue how to set up a car in the online world, and he does it all, and he makes some pretty quick setups. And I'd like to shout out Rocky. I wish he was here with us tonight, but like Brett said, his work has to come first.
Unfortunate, we miss Rocky tonight. I'm sure that if he was here, it could have been a team 1-2-3 finish. But Charles, I got to tell you, I've raced against Brett, and I don't think he's that fast.
It depends. He's got his moments.
He's got his moments. So do I. Sometimes I actually nail a broadcast, and other times it's not so much. But I'll tell you what, great racing tonight. I look forward to our second feature with you guys. And any other things you'd like to mention?
No, I like watching your broadcast, and I thank you for doing it.
All right, Charles. Well, once again, congratulations. Second place in tonight's race. And we look forward to talking to you in our second feature for tonight.
Yeah, let's hope. Have a good one.
All right. So you heard it from our first place and second place finishers. Thank you very much for joining us for feature number 1 of tonight's double feature event. We'll go through the results one more time. Brett Strickler wins it. Charles Hayes, his teammate, gonna bring it home second. Logan Christensen third. Brad Speidel is gonna be fourth. Part of that Pennsylvania posse that has joined the Upstate Racing League. Brad Speidel, also a member of the UW Motorsports team. Tyson Landis 5th, Kelly Dahl 6th, Matt Heft 7th, Michael Meardu 8th, Brett Bartles is in 9th, and Jim Vig rounds out your top 10. Vig had a little bit of an earlier incident in this race, managed to recover well. Alex, don't call me Oreo, Oranz is going to be 11th. George Wood, a Pennsylvania posse member as well, is going to be 12th. 13th, Devin Johnson. We saw Johnson get into some trouble. He's going to be the first car laps down. Terry Reinert, 14th, who had a bit of a cross up there that we saw happen. Scott Bellum, who disconnected. Unfortunately, he was running third when it happened. Was 15th overall now. Wayne McDuff, 16th. James McIntyre, 17th. And Al Smith, the brave man who showed up to a sprint car race in a truck, is going to be our 18th spot, even though we saw he really didn't score an event here. And so, man, I'll tell you, that was some great racing here at Williams Grove. I'm excited for our second feature. It's going to be exciting to watch this. And while all of that switches over, I want to just one more time thank very much to all the people who support the Upstate Racing League. And it wouldn't be what it is without White Knuckle Clothing. If you guys haven't done so, make sure you head over to whiteknuckleclothinginc.com. Check out what they have on sale. Some great stuff there. Some good clothing items. And also want to give a big thank you to Devil's Bowl Speedway in West Haven, Vermont, giving away 2 tickets to the Upstate Racing League banquet attendees. And they'll get 2 tickets to any event at that track. So that's going to be a good time for a couple. Could be 2 best friends. Could be a husband and wife. Could be any number of things. Could be a dog and a cat living together, like in Ghostbusters. So anyways, guys, while this next session gets loaded up and everything, we're going to play some commercials. And I hope nobody goes anywhere because it's going to be too exciting to miss. So stick around. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The sun has set here at Williams Grove. My name is KR Stolfus. Thank you very much for joining me for our doubleheader event as this second feature is getting ready to get underway. We're watching Tyson Landis right now, and this guy, he's always putting on a good show. You know, talking about a good show, this is JaySkinz Media Solutions Broadcasting. You are watching the Upstate Racing League presented by White Knuckle Clothing. And we're here at Williams Grove. The sun is set. Heat race number 2 underway. Final moments of practice here. Brett Bartles in the 2 machine has him in that Williams Grove wiggle coming out of turn 4. So the field is going to have a bit of an invert. We're going straight into a feature, no heat races, no qualifying. Straight into an invert for how they finished in our first feature. So Brett Strickler, Charles Hayes, and Logan Christensen were our top 3 finishers. And you know what? If we can, gonna see about joining Logan Christensen down here. Send a message to him. Hopefully he's available and not too busy, and we can get a word in with him. Hey Logan, do you got your ears on?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to work it.
Logan Christensen in the booth. We didn't get to talk to you finishing 3rd in the first heat race, but here we got an opportunity to. So give us a little bit of rundown about feature number 1.
Well, started on the pole, led the first couple laps, decided to stuff it up on the fence, fell back to, I don't know, 4th, 5th, something like that. Had a pretty extensive battle with the guys in the 3rd to 5th range, and I think I ended up finishing 3rd, you know, right there with them. So it was all in all a good race, I guess.
Well, you finished 3rd in the first feature. How do you feel your prospects are for the second here tonight now that the sun is set?
Well, put enough fuel in it. Let's just rip the lip and see where we can go.
Oh, man, I like the way you're talking. Give us a little bit of... have you heard anything about the iRacing and developing an actual cushion that you can lean up against, and your thoughts on that?
I think it's a step in the right direction. It's going to take more than just one build to get it right, but like I said, it's a step in the right direction, and high risk, high reward, and use it to your advantage, I guess.
All right, man. Well, we see you starting to take to the grid, so thanks for taking a moment to talk to us, and good luck out there in tonight's second feature.
All right, thank you.
All right, that was Logan Christensen. We finally got a chance to talk to him. He finished 3rd in our first feature, but we got 2 features tonight, and the grid is starting to form up on it. There was an invert involved. We're going to do 30 green flag laps. So this is going to be a race control, manual control. Wow. This is going to be a manually controlled race. So when the caution comes out, we're going to add roughly 3 laps to our total distance. That way we get 30 green flag laps in. We're looking at Kelly Dahl and Tyson Landis on the front row. Brad Spidell, Logan Christensen, Charles Hayes, Brett Strickler, Matt Heft, Michael Mirdo, Brett Bartles, and Jim Vig make up row 5. Row 6, Alex Oranz and George Wood. 7, Devin Johnson and Terry Reinert. Row 8, Scott Bellum and Wayne McDuff. And bringing up the rear is Steve Castle, coming in to join us for or feature number 2 on tonight's events. So Kelly Dahl gonna be the pole sitter for this race due to the invert. He got the lucky draw, but Brett Strickler, Charles Hayes, solid cars in our first feature. So be watching for these guys to come to the front of the field. Brad Speidel doing a great job as well in that first feature. Here we go. Kelly getting a good start over Tyson Landis. These guys are underway. Speidel picking up right where he left off, right on the bottom. Getting in a great run. Slide job by Speidel. Tyson Landis having none of it. Speidel gonna tech back down. Does a little bit of chop on Brett Strickler, but that does not deter Strickler. Now he's washing up from the corner here. Logan Christensen sitting in fourth. Big trouble contact. Brett Strickler able to keep going. Now he's gotten into Brett Bartles. And caution is out. And I think that's going to be a caution for this incident. We're going to go on board with Brett Bartles. So that's what's going to cause the caution for this night. So our new lap white flag will be lap 33. Kelly Dahl still out front. Tyson Landis second. Brad Speidel third. Fourth is Logan Christensen. Charles Hayes. Sorry, Logan Christensen is sixth. Timing sheet was a bit out of whack. Brett Strickler, Charles Hayes. Those two still running nose to tail. Picking up right where they left off. Little bit of role reversal though. Lights are out on this pace truck. Pace truck pulling off. Logan leaving a big gap between him and Brett Strickler. Here we go. Green flag in the air. Kelly Dahl with a great start. Kelly Dahl pulling away here. Tyson Landis holding on to second place, but Brad Speidel running that bottom. Washing up a little bit. Oh, and Matt Heft in trouble here. Matt Heft got in the wall. Gonna lose a spot or two. Gonna keep it going though. But back up front, Speidel has gotten around. Tyson Landis will put Speidel in second. Brett Strickler, Charles Hayes, they're going side by side now. Strickler on the bottom, running a good line here on the bottom, following in Brad Speidel's tire tracks. So Strickler and Hayes, we got caution out once again. Matt Heft is taken to the pits. Gonna see if we can catch exactly what happened to him. There was an accident behind him. Not sure I got the right car. Heft catching the wall there. Ooh! Got into Scott Bellum. Heft going end over end and out of the park. So Terry Reiner was one of the cars that was involved. We saw the shot just happen. We saw the accident happen just as our shot changed. So Terry Reiner, Matt Heft, both these guys in pit lane. Reiner pushing his car into the hauler. He's going home early. 2 races in a row. A bit unfortunate for him, but Kelly Dahl out front still. But he's got a new car behind him for this restart. Brad Speidel in the 555 Pabst Blue Ribbon machine. Part of the Pennsylvania posse that has joined Upstate Racing League. So lap 36 is going to be our new white flag lap. We're on lap 11. Lights are out on the pace truck. Tyson Landis sitting in third. Brett Strickler, our winner of the first feature tonight, having to slowly work his way through the field now. 2 cars up front out of the top 4 running the bottom. That's Brad Speidel and Brett Strickler. They're sitting second and fourth. They're going to be ones to keep an eye on. Jim Big sitting in 7th place as the pace truck pulls off right now. Here we go, folks. Kelly Dahl going to get a good restart here. Field bunched up just a little bit. Brad Speidel does not let Kelly Dahl get away from him. Speidel is going to run the bottom. Going to see if he can get a run off the corner. Dahl doing a great job. Great exit. Speidel still on that inside. So is Brett Strickler. Strickler now in third. Strickler going to try the high side here. Now down to the bottom they go. Tyson Landis trying the bottom. Charles Hayes. Landis getting a little crossed up. A little too much throttle there on corner exit. Gonna cost him a couple spots. Logan Christensen, as the caution is out once again. Scott Bellum looks to be in trouble here. Not quite sure what has happened to Bellum, but we're about to find out. Brett Bartles gets into the wall there. Oh my goodness. Looked like Steve Castle got into Scott Bellum coming out of the corner. And that is what's going to bring out this caution, is it shut Bellum's car down. Bellum going to keep going though, not losing a lap. So Kelly Dahl still out front. Strickler now in third. Speidel second. Charles Hayes fourth. Tyson Landis fifth. Logan Christensen sixth. Jim Biggs seventh. Michael Mirdo eighth. George Wood ninth. Brett Bartles is 10th. Wayne McDuff 11th. Steve Castle holding on to 12th spot. Scott Bellum, last car on the lead lap. He's 13th place. Alex Arens in the pits. Devin Johnson in the pits. Matt Heft in the pits. And Terry Reiner loaded up and headed home. So that makes all 17 cars accounted for in this race tonight. Alright, so white flag now coming out on lap 39. Lights are out on the pace truck. I'll tell you what, Brett Strickler, Brad Speidel, they want to lead this race. Kelly Dahl doing a great job. He's holding on by the skin of his teeth so far. Running a great race, but he's got some fast cars behind him. He cannot afford a mistake right now. I just got word that Alex has packed it up and headed home. So Alex headed to the hauler. Tough night for Alex. He was looking forward to this race. Green flag in the air. Kelly Dahl getting a great restart over Brad Speidel. Brett Strickler trying the high side. Logan Christensen. Tyson Landis following suit. And now Charles Hayes trying that inside line. Thought about getting underneath his teammate. Just couldn't make it stick. Now they're going to go high in 1 and 2. Kelly Dahl still holding on to this lead. Brad Speidel wants it, but just not fast enough. Speidel going to try down low in 3 and 4. Looks like that's going to be a common trend right now. Low in 3 and 4. High in 1 and 2. And then Speidel and Strickler back down to the bottom for 1 and 2. Strickler trying to get underneath Speidel. Unable to do so. That's going to cost him a spot. We got one in the wall. Scott Bellum in more trouble here. Looks like everyone's still going. Meanwhile, Kelly Dahl's still holding on to the lead. White flag lap is lap 39. We're on lap 21 now. 22 laps complete. Or 21 laps complete. We've started lap 22. Kelly Dahl way up high. Speidel on the bottom. Dahl's getting a great run off the corner. Ooh, and Speidel drove it in deep there. That's going to cost him a little bit coming out of this corner. Ooh, and Dahl gets sideways. Put Speidel into the lead. Got a little too excited there. Choking on my own words. Brad Speidel now your leader. Brett Strickler and Charles Hayes still duking it out. These two are teammates, but you wouldn't know it if it weren't for the same paint scheme. Those two trading spots back and forth. Now Strickler really wants to get back into the front. He wants to pull off this double feature victory. He won our first feature, but he's running out of time. He's got to find another gear, got to find some extra grip. As our new leader, Brad Speidel, doing a great job starting to open up a bit of a gap on Kelly Dahl now. But Strickler holding on tight. Looks like Strickler has cleared Dahl. So put Strickler in second. Now he's got to set his sights onto Brad Speidel. We go on board with Brett Strickler right now. And the caution is out. Looks like Steve Castle got in trouble. Not sure what has happened to Steve Castle, but we're going to check and see. Gets into the wall here. Big time trouble coming out of turn 4. And that's what's going to bring out the caution. This is kind of going to help out Brett Strickler. Strickler needed a chance to catch his breath. Needed a chance to form up right behind Brad Speidel. This is not what Speidel wanted to see. So the lights are still on the pace truck. Brad Speidel, Brett Strickler, Kelly Dahl make up your top 3. Charles Hayes in 4th. Logan Christensen 5th. These two, no slouches to the racing scene. They're going to be ones to keep an eye on. Jim Vig in the 17 machine. Having a great run here in the second feature. Running 6th. Looking to gain a bit more. But Michael Mirdo in the 66 and Wayne McDuff running 8th. Wayne had an unfortunate finish. Got a DNF in our first feature tonight. But here he is inside the top 10. Tyson Landis had a bit of a setback here. He's running 9th. Had been running in the top 5. Got into some trouble. And rounding out the top 10 is Scott Bellum. Scott in the 7 car. But Brad Speidel has control of this field. Pace truck pulling off. Brett Strickler's got his chance here to make a move. Cannot let Speidel get a jump on him. Ooh, and Strickler, big mistake going into the corner. That's going to cost him the spot, going to cost him some time. That is not what he wanted to have happen. Speidel able to get a little bit of a gap here, but Strickler recovering nicely. Already got that spot back around Dahl. Kelly Dahl, Logan Christensen running the high side here in 1 and 2. Charles Hayes tucking in front of Jim Vig. 3 cars to the high side. Vig through the middle. Ooh, almost contact between Hayes and Vig. Logan Christensen now working over Charles Hayes. Got it around, and Christensen now inside 4th place, running the bottom. And Hayes in the wall. Hayes going to have to check up to gather that car in. That's going to put Jim Vig in the top 5. So Vig able to gain the spot while Hayes was bouncing off the wall. Up front, it's Brad Speidel and Brett Strickler. These two have not settled this race. Strickler doing all he can to try and catch Speidel. Speidel doing a great job holding on to this first position. Brett Bartles has pulled it behind the wall. So George Wood, 12th spot, final car out there on the track right now. Meanwhile, the race for the lead is getting close. White flag is lap 42. We're on lap 35. It is winding down, and Brett Strickler is there. He is challenging Brad Speidel right now. To the inside goes Strickler. Caution is out. Looks like Scott Bellum in trouble once again. Scott Bellum in a battle with Charles Hayes here. The two make contact. Bellum gets the short end of the stick. Wayne McDuff going around as well. Bellum pulling it onto pit road. And that looks like that's going to do it for Bellum, as he has jumped out of the car. So Wayne McDuff running 11th. So we started with 17 cars. We now have 11 cars on the track. So attrition's starting to take its toll. But up front, it has been an interesting fight between Brad Speidel and Brett Strickler. Strickler has a little bit better of a car, but just not able to fire off as quick as Brad Speidel is. Lights are out on the pace truck. Brad Speidel, Brett Strickler, Kelly Dahl, Logan Christensen, Jim Vig. That makes up your top 5. Pace truck pulling off here. Brett Strickler's got to get a good restart. Brad Speidel has got to snooker him somehow. Here we go. We are back underway. Green flag in the air. Lap 45 is going to be our white flag lap. Oh no! Big contact. Lots of trouble now. No caution. Now the caution is out. Tyson Landis going end over end here. Saw some cars getting together. Jim Vig, Tyson Landis, Logan Christensen. Those guys all getting into big time trouble. And the big loser is Tyson Landis. So we are back under yellow once again. Lap 48 is when the white flag is going to fly now. We are on lap 42, so we are getting to the end of this race. Brad Speidel doing a great job leading this race here tonight. The second of 2 features. Brett Strickler won the first one. He wants to get a double win tonight. He's all about it. He's sitting in second place. Very strong car. He can get it done. He needs some laps, though. He needs to get a great restart. Kelly Dahl, an early leader in this second feature, sitting in third. He's not too happy about being in third right now. He wants to get back up to the front. This is anyone's race still. Charles Hayes, teammate to Brett Strickler, running the same setup. Lights are out on the pace truck. Looks like the pace truck's getting ready to pull in. So here we go. A little bit of contact between the 66 and 27. Green flag in the air once again. Brad Speidel doing a great job. Great restart. Strickler to the bottom. Strickler able to run the bottom a little bit better than Speidel. But it takes Strickler a moment or two to catch up to him. And he's only got about 4 laps to go. Once again, white flag is on lap 48. Strickler contact with the wall there. Trying to get a nose underneath him. Not quite there just yet. Race is winding down as Speidel washes up a little bit. This is Strickler's opportunity. Drag race down the front stretch. Give the lead to Strickler by a nose. Now Speidel way on to the outside. Strickler on the bottom. And Strickler is going to slide up in front. What could be the pass of the race for the race win. Brett Strickler to the front. Brad Speidel in second. Great bit of driving by these 2 cars. Lap 47 now. White flag coming out next time around. Brett Strickler, it has taken him all race to do it, but he is back to the lead, trying to pull off the 2-peat. The 2 for 2, white flag in the air. Caution is going to fly. Caution was out before he got there. Don't know who got into some trouble. Looks like Mike Mirdo. We're going to have to go back and check an instant replay here. Mirdo, Charles Hayes make contact. Oh my goodness. And then Wayne McDuff again in some trouble. Jim Vig getting caught into that. So some more damage to Jim Vig. Jim Vig had a good run going. But Brett Strickler out front for this. Brad Speidel doing all he could, but just unable to hold the bottom like Strickler could. Strickler doing a great job running that bottom. Speidel holding on to second spot now. wants a shot. He's got a shot. Race is not over yet. We're going to do possibly a green, white checker. Waiting on race control to inform me. Lap 48 was going to be our white flag lap, but I believe the caution flag flew before the leader got to it. So it's going to be a green and the white flag and then the checkered. So we're going to have a 1 lap shootout. So Brad Speidel has done a great job. Got several good restarts. He needs the best start he's ever had here if he is hoping to pull out a win. Strickler, however, has the fastest car. He's managed to make his way up to the front. He's going to hold the bottom here. Green and white flag in the air at the same time. 1 lap shootout. Kelly Dahl, Charles Hayes going to the high side. Brad Speidel holding on to second. Brett Strickler with a huge gap on this one. Coming around to take the checkered flag. Checkers are in the air. Brett Strickler is going to win it. Brad Speidel second. Kelly Dahl third. Charles Hayes fourth. George Wood, Jim Vig, 5th and 6th. Steve Castle, Wayne McDuff, and Logan Christensen. And Michael Mirdo, that's going to make up your top 10, but Brett Strickler going to win this thing. So we're going to get a 2 in a row from Brett Strickler. Brad Speidel doing a great job finishing second. And third place, oh man, who was third place? I already forgot. I was talking too much. So I'm going to work on pulling these guys in as we watch Brett Strickler burn it down here. We'll start with Brad Speidel. Mr. Brad, are you there?
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations on second, Brad. Give us a little bit of rundown of your race. You led some laps, quite a few laps, but Strickler managed to run the bottom, get by you there towards the end, and then the cautions came out. So give us a little rundown of what you saw out there.
Yeah, Brett ran the bottom better than I did. I made a gear change the first race. That helped. And it just stay at the bottom the whole time. That's all I did.
Well, it was a double feature tonight. You ran well in the first one. You ran really well here in the second one. And, you know, tell us a little bit about the track conditions between feature 1 and feature 2.
A lot slicker in the second race. I would never go to the top of the second race. Bottom was where you had to go.
Now, do you feel that your car was better in the second one, or were you just as fast in the second feature as you were in the first, but you just needed the extra laps, so to speak, with the invert from the first feature?
I'd say the setup was good. I didn't really change anything on the setup except for gear. Once I changed the gear, it woke it up. It came alive for me.
All right, Brad. Well, again, congratulations on second. Is there any sponsors or people you'd like to thank for this finish?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you guys for televising it, and George Wood and him and Al for the league, and UW for the setups. They help a lot. Need a paint? Look up Kobe's Eye Paint. We'll set you up.
All right, so throwing out some painters out there, Kobe's Eye Paint, some UW Motorsports teammates. So thank you very much for joining us tonight, Brad. And again, congratulations on your second place finish.
Thank you.
All right, so moving on to third place, Mr. Kelly Dahl. Are you there, sir?
I'm here.
Man, I gotta admit, you look great in the first part. You were doing an awesome job, and then it looked like your race kind of fell apart there for a moment, but you gathered it back up and still wound up third. So give us a rundown of your race.
Well, after the invert, I finished the last race in 6th. The invert was the top 6 position, so I got thrown into 1st. And I knew there was a lot of fast guys right behind me, and it was a matter of time before they would catch me. Surprisingly, it just took a lot more time than I thought it was going to take for them to catch me. I guess I just kind of figured out a little bit more grip on the track, and I did make a setup change, took a little bit of stagger out, but it really was... it really did make quite a bit of a difference. The car wasn't as loose. I was able to get a bit more grip off the corner. It just helped me hold on to that 3rd place position.
Well, you look good out there in the second one. How do you feel that the first feature compared to the second one for you? And you mentioned that stagger change. Do you think that was what did it for you? You wish you had that change in the first feature?
Yeah, I really wish I did. It really made a huge difference as the car wasn't quite getting as sideways in the corners, and I was starting to figure out how to run that slick just a little bit better. Especially, I actually figured out turn 3 and 4, of course, right on the last lap. I was able to keep up right on the tail end of Brad there, and if I had figured that out maybe a few laps before, maybe I would have had a bit more of a shot to go with those guys, but I'm just happy to be running at least in the top 5.
Well, the top 5 you were in. In fact, you are on 3rd place, the final spot on the podium. So that's even better than saying top 5. So, any sponsors, people you'd like to thank for this?
Yeah, I'd like the Tim Hortons being on the car. It's just a great paint scheme, goes along well with just being pretty much one of the token Canadians in the group. And I'd like to thank Brantley Roden from Harpoon Designs. He's actually the guy that does all my paints. This is one of the cars he did for me. It looks fantastic. And I'd like to thank Al for throwing up this league every week in, week out. Just a ton of fun to keep running here.
All right, well, once again, congratulations on 3rd place. But we're going to move on from here, and we're going to talk to our race winner, 2 in a row, Brett Strickler. Mr. Strickler, how are you doing tonight?
I'm not doing too bad there, JR. I can't say. Definitely can't complain.
I'll tell you what, winning 2 features back-to-back, had a doubleheader tonight, and you won them both. The class of the field for both races. Man, it's got to feel great.
Yeah, I think I got a little bit behind the 8 ball on the start here of this one. Track was a lot more blown out than I anticipated, so my car was a little off. But I did end up getting into Logan there early. I don't know what happened. We had a little bit of a discrepancy, but none of it was intentional. I hope he's listening or is listening. It was an accident. But yeah, I'll tell you what, the big thing I was worried about was that invert. I think if I probably would have started back any further, it would have been a little bit harder to get to the front.
Well, you managed to get to the front. It took you almost the entire feature length. You led about 3 laps only, but you managed to get it done. So, man, tell us a little bit about how it changed from daytime to nighttime.
Oh, it changed big time. It was a lot more slicker than I anticipated. I expected to have a little bit more grip, but being that tonight, maybe the moisture might come back out. But it was definitely it was just black from top to bottom, and I thought maybe you could have the top in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. The way it shapes here at the Grove, it's just kind of blowing off into the wall down there, so you can't really go up top. But I even running the bottom, I think my car was a little too tight, and I couldn't find the right balance, but I managed to keep it all together, and yeah, it did take me the entire race to get up there. And I think I had spidled twice right as a caution came out, so I had to do it again. So I guess 3rd time's a charm.
Well, you managed to make it work. No matter how many times it took you, here you are on victory lane, top spot of the podium. Anybody you'd like to thank once again for this?
Yeah, same guys. Rocky's not here. We were talking to him. He's at work. He's gonna watch it on his lunch break. I guess you could say he works night shift tonight. But Charles in here too. We were talking a little bit, and he was just off the podium. And also another shout out to my friend that might be watching, Woody Fawn 478455. That's his Xbox gamer tag, and there's a story behind it, but we won't share it. But yeah, it was fun. Shout out to those guys. I'm looking forward to getting back here next week, and most importantly, go Posse.
All right, so there you go. Brett Strickler pulling out the 2 for 2 tonight. Congratulations on it, man, and great racing.
Thanks, KR.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for us here at JMS Broadcasting. Man, I'll tell you what, we saw some great racing tonight. And our top 3, Brett Strickler, Brad Speidel, And Kelly Dahl, what an epic second feature. Had a doubleheader tonight. So glad to be a part of it. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining me. That's going to wrap it up for the Upstate Racing League Super Sprint Series presented by White Knuckle Clothing. Guys, thank you for joining me. Have a good night, and we'll catch you all next time.